What is up, Light Fighters? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. This is Light Fighters Anonymous, and I've got you for middle of the week gear reviews. This is where I go find a wonderful piece of gear that I have in my garage, and I talk about it for a little bit. Today, we are talking about something a little bit more exciting, however. We're going to be talking about night vision goggles. They are already very expensive. They are kind of a necessity if you're going to do any dismounted patrolling at night. But because they are so expensive, we want to squeeze every ounce of performance we can out of them. And today we are talking about SAC lenses and specifically adjustable irises.
Eagle 2, this is Light Fighter 1-1. How copy, over.
Contact! Contact!
1-1, this is Eagle 2, good copy, send traffic, over.
Okay, so what is a sacrificial lens and an adjustable iris specifically? Well, a sacrificial lens is basically any lens you put in front of your objective lens, and it is the one who will break first if it's dropped or damaged in any way. That is what a sacrificial lens is. What I have on my unit actually is just an adjustable iris. Now, these can be bought in combination with a sacrificial lens, and I also have additional threads here on my unit so I can screw one in still if I ever wanted to have one. I do not have a sacrificial lens on my unit right now. Just haven't had the need for it. I haven't broke it yet, and if it does break for any reason, you can fix these. So a couple things about my night vision unit. I have a PVS 14 right here. This is military issue all across the world pretty much. Maybe not. I don't know what other foreign militaries have. This is American issue, pretty standard night vision monocular. I got this unit because they are super robust. They're very durable. They're hard to break. They're also all around the world. So the parts are easy to come by. These are like the Ford F-150s of night vision. Inside this, I've got middle of the range tubes, elbit tubes. They're Gen 3, white phosphor. I don't know my FOM numbers or anything like that, but it's not a bad tube. Shout out to Custom Night Vision. They hooked me up and took care of me. The other reason I picked a PVS 14 over some of the other cooler or more high-speed units is because PVS 14s have a manual gain knob. So you notice right here, this knob right here on the front of my unit is manual gain, and gain adjusts how much brightness I'm receiving in my image in my eye. So I think manual gain is a must. If you bought night vision and spent a lot of money and don't have manual gain, I am sorry, but pay attention because there are solutions. So what are our solutions? Well, an adjustable iris is your solution. Now, what does this do? Well, it basically provides that it's closed, its furthest aperture, a tiny little pinhole to limit the amount of light that comes into your night vision unit. And that is basically all it does. It limits the amount of light that comes into your unit by constricting its aperture. So I'm going to talk out of my ass here a little bit. And a camera guy was going to get down in the comments and call me a retard and say that this is all wrong, but I'm going to try my best. I believe night vision units come with what's called a prime lens, and a prime lens means that you have a fixed focal length, okay? Now, this doesn't mean you're stuck focusing on one certain length, but it means you have a fixed length of focus. And this is because they have a fixed aperture width. Now, your aperture width when you're talking about optics or cameras specifically is measured in what's called f-stop. And the smaller the number f-stop, like 1 or 1.2, is a big aperture. It lets a lot of light in. And these prime lenses that are in night vision are f-stop 1.2 typically. So that is letting a lot of light in, and obviously intentionally because this whole unit is designed to let light in and then amplify it in low light conditions. So that's why your night vision most likely has a prime lens with an f-stop somewhere around 1.2. But this f-stop, when you're shooting images or whatever, I think I'm on an f-stop of 5 right now, just so we can keep this whole field in focus. A larger f-stop number, and that's what I'm getting at, increases that depth of field. So typically a night vision unit, you really can't increase the depth of field that is in focus. When you're focused at 100 meters, let's say you've got everything from 90 to 110 in focus. And when you're focused in here at 5 meters, you've got everything from 0 to 10 in focus, but you can't see 15. And if you focus out to 25 meters, well, you've got 20 and 30 in focus, but you can't see up close now. Well, when you constrict your aperture and make your f-stop bigger, or the number bigger, what this does is increases your depth of field. So what I can basically do is artificially increase my f-stop with this adjustable iris and then I can get a broader focal length out of my night vision. So why would I want to do this? Well, obviously I just explained it. You can focus on more. So if you're working in a highlight or a mixed lighting environment, or you're working in an environment where you're able to use your infrared illuminator or an additional infrared light, you can now focus up close and then adjust your iris so you've got a nice broad area to work. Like I could be able to focus on this entire desk or read a map on this whole desk right here instead of had to focus here and then refocus for over here, which is, if you use night vision, you're going to find that you're going to get a focus length on words about 5 or 6 inches off the page, and then you're going to have to keep your night vision goggle exactly 5 inches away from whatever you're trying to read. If you're able to increase the light in the environment a little bit, either artificially with actual light, with infrared light, or working in a mixed lighting environment, and then reduce your aperture, that will increase your focal length and that will improve your focus and the amount you have to adjust your focus when reading up close, and it works for far away. So say I want to scan over a field that's 500 meters away, and I want to focus on the entire broadness of the field. Typically, I could only keep the far tree line horizon in focus or the closer tree line in focus. If I reduce my f-stop a little bit, adjust my gain so my picture's the brightness I like, I can keep that whole field in focus, ideally. All right, so what are the bads about having an adjustable iris? Well, one thing that I don't like is it's one more thing to mess with on your unit. I already have an on-off switch with an infrared illuminator. I already got a diopter adjustment, which should just stay fixed, mind you, once it's adjusted to me in my eye. I've got a focus ring, which is how I focus. And then additionally, I have on the exact same basically controls right at the same swivel. I've got my adjustable iris, so that can be confusing at night. And then I also have adjustable gain. Those are a lot of controls just to see, just to do a bunch of things that my eye does completely automatically without me thinking about it. So it's one more thing to mess with. It's one more thing, one more system that can break. However, they do just remove, so you unscrew them all the way and you just pull it off like so, and you're back to your normal PVS 14. So if it did break for any reason, or if it's got stuck in the closed position or frosted shut, you could just take it right off ideally. One other bad thing I'd say about these is when you're using these, obviously you'll see specifically with my unit, I have 50-degree lenses. I paid a little bit extra for those, so I've got the nice Boomslang or some cool word like that, Boomslang optics. But I have 50-degree field of vision. As I start giving myself that bigger number f-stop, which is constricting my aperture, you'll notice that the nice crisp border starts to get a little hazy, and then we start to get a little constricted and my picture gets smaller. So it reduces my field of view, obviously, as I'm constricting my aperture. Now we're going to switch to some night vision footage here in just a second, and I'll talk through some of the well, you'll actually see what it looks like at night. Tonight's going to be kind of a low illume. We've got hazy, overcast, and I think a very small amount of moon, so we'll have a good night for some night vision. All right, what is up, light fighters? We are outside, walking down my road. Went to a darkest place I could. We've got reasonable ambient light from these houses that's kicking off, but I am shooting. It's a little farmer. That's just a single little street lamp over there, white light. I can't really see with my naked eye anything that's not underneath that light. It is all black, especially with this camera in front of my face. But I'm gonna make the bend over here to this cornfield, and as you can see here, I'll play with my focus a little bit. We can play with it and we can get that farm nice and in focus down there. But then when we look right here, I've got to readjust my focus a little bit to get a better, crispier picture. And that just is describing some of the field of view issues. Refocus out there to the barn. Now if I needed to look at my shoes for any particular reason, you can see they're out of focus, and now boom, we're in focus there, but we're out of focus out there. So that's talking about that depth of field. Now this is with a wide open aperture, a wide open iris. Here's what happens when I start reducing my iris. I'm going to bring it down. You can notice my edges are getting smaller. And now my camera's adjusting a little bit, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn my gain back up. If I can find that knob. I'm shooting on a weird setup right now. So the gain's going to slowly come back up here, and then boom. Now we've got a reasonably decent image we can see. Let's focus on the barn as best we can. Playing with it out too. It looks like just my infinity focus is going to work out there. And then with a smaller, bring the iris all the way down. That's iris all the way down there. Gain up. This should give us the broadest depth of field. So obviously we don't see very well. We're starting to get that starlight effect. But if I go and look down at my shoe, you know, it's in focus still, because I've got a broad depth of field because my iris is all the way closed. Now if I'm working in a higher light environment where more light's coming into the unit, I'm going to be able to keep this depth of field and get a better picture quality. So that's playing with my iris right there. I'm going to go ahead and bring the iris back out. Notice my screen's going to get real bright. And then let's turn the gain back down. And obviously, again, my camera is adjusting for that. So you guys can't see it very well, that how dark it's getting. The camera's adjusting its brightness. So that's just an adjustable iris, guys. Hope that explained it. All right, guys, so I hope that was at least a little informational for you. I hope you guys saw a good difference and saw the use of this adjustable iris piece. For me, overall, if you've got manual gain, I would say you don't absolutely need an adjustable iris. I don't find the benefit of the increased field of view so substantial and so crisp that I don't still find myself using the focus a lot. I still find myself using my focus knob quite a bit at night, even with the adjustable iris. If you are working in a mixed lighting environment or sometimes bright environments, this you could consider one. Or if you made the mistake of getting a unit without manual gain, I would 100% get yourself an adjustable iris. That is going to be how you adjust the amount of light that's overall being transmitted to your eye. With manual gain, you can do it two ways. I can turn my gain down nice and low, and I can adjust my iris open, or I can adjust my iris down and turn my gain up, and I still get a nice picture either way. So guys, this is middle of the week gear reviews. I'm giving adjustable irises a go. Go ahead and get yourself one. I think it's a great upgrade. You spent so much money on this night vision already. Spend 40 more bucks and get you an adjustable iris. It gives you a little bit more utility, and it works if you got it closed. It works as good. It works as a sacrificial lens, kinda. So guys, Light Fighters Anonymous, thank you so much for tuning in. Kiss your mothers. Stay sharp.